to wait another season now, but they've given us here a fine and memorable afternoon.
First Division football at Kenilworth Road next season. And since Luton have led the Second Division for all but 1 week of the season, it's got to be hats off to the Hatters. But if yesterday was a very special day for Luton and their fans, it was for us too. For we were privileged to have our cameras with David Pleat and his men throughout the day. With them was Jim Rosenthal.
Luton's day began with a real scare. Skipper Brian Horton pulled up sharply at the start of training. He'd aggravated an old ankle injury. Great concern from manager David Pleat, and Brian Horton needing immediate treatment from physiotherapist John Sheridan. He had to stop training for a while, but Brian Horton was fit enough to come back on, and with his ankle strapped, he was back taking part in the set pieces that have played a big part in the Hatters' success this season. David Pleat's a manager who works very closely with his players. He supervises every training session.
Steve, pull away, Steve. Yes. Good one, that's the one.
And he also has to make some very tough decisions, like telling new man Billy Jennings that there's no place for him in tonight's side.
I would do a little bit, Billy, yes. I mean, at this moment, I'm not thinking of using it. But then, well, I can't really say. I mean, the next game's a Tuesday and Wednesday. But anyway, we'll have a chat next week, whatever.
And for Ricky Hill, troubled for weeks with an ankle injury, a firm inquiry to see if he's fit for action.
You either play and you go through it. There's no way you get the easy way out on a suspense. Tonight is more important than Cardiff. And as far as I'm concerned, at Cardiff anyway, it may be that if we want a more defensive type midfield player, we can put him in that and then Raddy's subbed.
So the end of training, the side's been settled. But how about that shock for skipper Brian Horton?
Yeah, I just went over on my ankle. We were just doing a little run through on corners and free kicks and things. Just went over on my ankle. It's been a bit weak for a couple of weeks, and I've been strapping it up, and I didn't this morning. Didn't think we were doing a great deal, and then, but it's no problem. It should be all right tonight.
Brian, I would think it would take a bit more than an injury like that to keep you out on an occasion like tonight.
Well, yeah, I think any game, professional players want to play in as many games as they can, and a game of such importance tonight, yes, we're all looking forward to it.
So how important is it for the Luton manager to get promotion after coming so close in the last couple of seasons?
Well, I can only go back and remember the terrible feeling once it dawned on me after our last game last year, where we won at Bolton 3-0, but just up the road Swansea had won 3-1 at Preston, and several hours later I saw all the tremendous publicity and deserved publicity that John Toshak had received, and I thought, crikey, we're only 2 points away. It must be so marvellous to be a winner. And then the previous year we were in a similar situation too, and one tends to think, are you destined to be a loser or not quite do it?
Now, Shrewsbury are saying they're going to spoil our story for us, and that the champagne that you sneaked into the ground earlier today is going to stay on ice.
Well, it'd be terrible, wouldn't it? I mean, you'd have to come back next week, and we'd all have egg on our faces, and I don't know if if your company would have the guts to put it on, but we'll see. They tell me you're pretty strong-willed in the television.
Half an hour to kick off now. David Pleat and Graham Hawkins, the Shrewsbury coach, hand in the team sheets to referee Brian Hill. He checks the colours and then gives his customary pre-match chat.
No. Lovely. White, red, black, no problems there, lads.
And we're delighted to be at Kenilworth Road, where Luton started brightly. There was a good move involving Brian Steen, showing his ability to turn and shoot just before he put Luton in front after a quarter of an hour. But Luton really weren't playing well, and Shrewsbury, who battled hard throughout the night, deserved their equaliser after an hour. There's a good ball coming in from David Tong, hesitation, and a great volley there from Ian Atkins. So it looked as though Luton's night was going to be ruined before a devastating finish, 3 goals in the last 12 minutes. Donachie jumps highest, and look at that for a volley from Ricky Hill. Hill obviously not fully fit, but really justifying his manager's confidence there. Just a minute later, and look out for a good pass from number 11, David Moss. Moss picks the ball up there, threads it through, and here's Steve White in the clear. White hadn't had the best of nights, but still with the confidence to take on Griffin and Kay and find the finish to beat Wardle. And then it was David Moss with the perfect finale. Really, another demonstration of Luton's individual skills. Moss goes all the way, and what a finish that from the tightest of angles. Luton 4, Shrewsbury 1, and that meant promotion. Luton back in the First Division after an absence of 7 years, and Jake Findlay, the big Scottish keeper, absolutely delighted there. Number 10, Lil Fashilla, was around when Luton were last in Division 1, having a spot of trouble with the champagne, but he won't worry about that. But through it all, the calmest man was the Luton manager, David Pleat.
David, a bit quiet with all the celebrations going on all around you.
Well, we're just delighted, really. We kind of deflated, but we're inflated, if you understand me. We didn't think we played too well in the first half, and it came right in the end, like the song. You know, the last 25 minutes we played, we've won the game. We're delighted to win the game. We think we deserve promotion. You know, we're not egotists, but we think we deserve it. And we're thrilled to bits, really.
It's hard for you to give an immediate assessment, I know, but even the third time you've got promotion obviously means a great deal to professional.
Oh yeah, I mean, that is why I came here, because I thought we got a chance, and we've done it tonight. We've proved that we're a good side, I think. You know, not probably tonight, but throughout the season. And we've scored a lot of goals, a lot of good goals, and I think we've gave a lot of pleasure to people. And you know, it's nice to do things in a nice way. I had somebody shout, "Come on, let's do it in style," and we scored a couple of goals just after that, so it was nice.
Well, Ricky, straight off the pitch and straight onto the treatment table, and the ankle obviously gave you 1 or 2 problems out there.
Yeah, Jim, it's been bothering me for about...
Speak up, Ricky.
It's been bothering me for about 3 weeks now, you know, and I've been playing. And really, I should have rested it, you know, but I didn't want to miss out on a big occasion like.
We heard the two of you and your manager chatting this morning, and you were obviously desperately keen to play tonight, ankle or no ankle.
That's right, Jim, you know. Playing against Norwich, it was a lot worse. I thought to myself, well, if I could play in that game, I know I'm going to miss this game, you know. It's so important that we're up now. It's brilliant.
I think you're determined, though, for Luton to go up as champions.
Yeah, all the lads are, because we want the medal, just to show, you know, that'll mean really a lot to us, because you can show your kids and whatever you like, you were champions of the 2nd division. No one remembers the runners up, like, so we want to be champions.
Last point for you, what's the lemonade all about?
Well, the champagne's run out, you know. I don't know what's the matter, just to try and get some more in, Jim.
We're on our way. We are age 22. Here they are, of the orange, white and blue. This time, more than any other time, this time, we're gonna find a way to get away this time. Get it all together, we'll get it right.
Well,